thing wobbin', wobbin', wobbin'. When I come around, got the whole thing wobbin'.
What is going on, guys? It is Zirksee with another YouTube video. Today I'm going to show you guys which cultivators, in my opinion, are the best ones to do. Now, it's very important that you take a look at the matchups when it comes to these. So, for Xavier Rhodes, one pass defended on Thanksgiving Day gives him to a 91 overall, and one interception gets him to a 93 overall. Now, the Vikings are going to be playing the Lions. So, Matt Stafford, odds of him throwing an interception, not super high, and honestly on Thanksgiving Day I feel like they might be a little bit more conservative, but one pass defended for Xavier Rhodes, honestly, yes, I believe he definitely will get that. Now, for a quarterback to get an interception, it's, not a given thing. Now, of course, people can get tip balls, people can just straight up jump routes and do stuff, but Matt Stafford is a very good quarterback, so in my opinion, I'm not too sure if Xavier Rhodes will get an interception. So if you're trying to guarantee get yourself a 93 overall, in my opinion, Xavier Rhodes versus Matt Stafford, I don't think that is going to be the best move. But Xavier Rhodes' 91 overall card, I'm sure will be just as good as 90 overall, just a little bit better. And of course, Xavier Rhodes already is a very beastly card, just 90 overall in general. So upgrading him to a 91, definitely not a bad idea. So if you guys want to get yourself a 91 overall Xavier Rhodes, definitely I think it's worth it to take the risk. But if you're guaranteed trying to get a 93 overall card, then hold up, do not do the Xavier Rhodes card. Next up, we have Quinn, 2 solo tackles, gets him to a 91 overall. 7 solo tackles, gets him to a 93 overall. So, for the Lions, they of course are going against the Vikings. The Vikings love to throw the ball. They don't really run the ball a lot. They love to throw the ball down the field. So, Adam Thielen, they also have Stephon Diggs, and also their tight end Kyle Rudolph. So, will he get 2 tackles? Yes, he will get 2 tackles. Will he get 7 tackles? It's honestly, in my opinion, very likely that he does get 7 tackles, especially with how pass heavy the Lions or the Vikings offense is. I think that him hitting 7 solo tackles is definitely a possibility. Now, the thing is Quinn a card that really interests you? In my opinion, Quinn doesn't really, shock me. His cards are never really absolutely amazing. They're very good when it comes to zone coverage and nothing really good when it comes to the hit power. So in my opinion, he may end up getting the 93 overall, but I personally am not really interested in a 93 overall Quinn card. But Xavier Rhodes and Quinn is probably going to get the 93 overall. Xavier Rhodes, in my opinion, probably won't get the interception, so it'll just be a 91 overall. But I think I'd rather have a 91 overall Xavier Rhodes over the Quinn. So on to the next matchup, we have the Chargers versus the Cowboys. And Hunter Henry, 2 receptions on Thanksgiving Day, gets him to a 91 overall, and 7 catches gets him to a 93. Now, Hunter Henry is still splitting time with Antonio Gates, and Phillip Rivers has honestly not been too good this season. He just had, a game-losing interception versus the Jaguars. And then they probably are going to run the ball quite a bit with Melvin Gordon versus the Cowboys, especially since our run defense hasn't been, the same it has been since last year. And our pass defense honestly isn't amazing, but I feel like we're doing pretty good when it comes to covering tight end. So, honestly, Hunter Henry, I do not see him getting 7 catches, and I do see him getting 2. I don't see him getting more than probably 4 catches. So in my opinion, Hunter Henry is not going to get the 93 overall. He definitely will not get 7 receptions on Thanksgiving Day. Now, in my opinion, this is the best set right here. Dak Prescott, 300 passing yards, gets him to a 93 overall. 150 passing yards gets him to a 91 overall. Now, I'm going to give you guys a couple of reasons as to why I think this is the best set. First off, 150 passing yards, that is extremely easy for a quarterback, and you have to take a look at just some other things that we are going to be dealing with. First off, the Cowboys, we do not have Ezekiel Elliott. So, without Zeke, do you really expect us to not be passing the ball a ton? Because in my opinion, Cowboys are going to be airing the ball out a lot. And also, the fact that Dez Bryant doesn't really have, an absolutely stud cornerback against him because of the fact that Jason Verrett is going to be out. I believe that we are going to force feed Dez Bryant. And if you take a look at the Jaguars and also the Chargers game just from last week, this is Blake Bortles at quarterback. I repeat, Blake Bortles is at the quarterback position here, and the Chargers only were allowing 17 to 20 the final scores, which is absolutely crazy. The Jaguars ended up beating them in overtime, and they got the game-winning interception. But if you take a look, Blake Bortles, 273 passing yards. They are absolutely trash when it comes to throwing the ball. And Blake Bortles got 273 passing yards. Now, of course, Dak Prescott last week, he didn't have the best game of his career. In fact, he honestly had probably the worst game of his career. And I have to blame that one on Chaz Green. So I'm not going to place, too much blame on Dak Prescott. But obviously, Dak Prescott did not play too good. He only had 7 points in that game. But the 7 points were from Dak Prescott running in for a touchdown. Of course, Dak Prescott's still one of the most clutch quarterbacks in the NFL. But Adrian Claiborne, 6 sacks. What are you supposed to do in every single play? You're just getting sacked. So Dak Prescott did only have 176 yards last week, but that was against the Atlanta Falcons defense. And trust me, the Chargers defense is nowhere near the Falcons defense. So, in my opinion, 300 passing yards for Dak Prescott, 100% guaranteed. I think this is probably the easiest Cultivator set, or the second easiest one, which I'll show you the first one in my opinion. But this is probably tied for the first one. 150 passing yards is guaranteed to happen. 300 passing yards is definitely up there if the Chargers can just score a little bit, which I think is easy because the Cowboys defense is not absolutely amazing. If they can just score a little bit and make the Cowboys throw the ball, which we don't really have a running game that well, so I think that Des Bryant will also have a pretty good game. I feel like Des Bryant will finally have an amazing game, maybe like 120 yards, 2 touchdowns. Terrence Williams probably like 75 yards. Cole Beasley maybe a pair of touchdowns as well. So hopefully the Cowboys just be throwing it all over the Chargers defense. But I do believe that Dak Prescott will get this done, and he will go to a 93 overall. Now, Jason Pierre-Paul. Now this is going to be the Redskins versus the Giants. Now I do believe that the Redskins just placed their right tackle on injured reserve. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure they just placed their right tackle on injured reserve. So, Jason Pierre-Paul, 2 sacks gets him to a 93 overall. 0.5 sacks gets him to a 91 overall. Now, in my opinion, this one is definitely a risk if you're trying to get the guaranteed 93 overall. I don't think this is the one you guys want to go with to get the guaranteed 93 overall. 2 sacks for any defensive end, first off, is very hard. Now, of course, they do have Trent Williams at left tackle, so you're going to have to see, Jason Pierre-Paul is going to be moving around the defensive line, probably switching between the left tackle and the right tackle, and he's probably not going to be able to beat Trent Williams. But if he is set up on the right side, he might get a sack. I don't know if he's going to get 2. That is a little bit hard to do, and especially with the addition of Chris Thompson, which I'll get into his Cultivator set next. I don't think they're going to be hanging on to the ball very long, but in my opinion, I don't think he's going to get 2 sacks, especially with Jordan Reed, who I believe is going to be playing on Thanksgiving Day. They're going to be getting rid of the ball a lot, and they're going to be passing maybe not as much, but I think Jason Pierre-Paul will get 0.5 sacks. I really can't tell if he's going to get 2 sacks or not, so I wouldn't go with this one because I really don't think that it's going to be guaranteed that he does that. Next up, this one, in my opinion, may be the best Cultivator set. Chris Thompson. Now, of course, Chris Thompson, his stats aren't going to be absolutely amazing if he does get it, but if you're looking to get a guaranteed 93 overall card, Chris Thompson is one of the leaders in the NFL in receiving yards. 40 rushing plus receiving yards on Thanksgiving Day gets him to a 91 overall, and if he gets 150, he goes to a 93 overall. In my opinion, Chris Thompson is definitely going to get this. This man is an absolute beast for some reason. He's literally getting like 100 receiving yards every single game, 80 receiving yards, maybe like 50 rushing yards. I think that he will get 150 rushing and receiving yards on Thanksgiving Day versus this Giants defense that has not been up to par. But in my opinion, Chris Thompson and Dak Prescott, as well as probably Glover Quinn, these 3 are the best ones. And, you can't really tell if a defensive end is going to get 2 sacks or not with just Pierre-Paul. And then for Hunter Henry, 7 catches is a lot for a tight end. And honestly, Cowboys defense, when it comes to covering tight ends, has been historically pretty good this year. And Xavier Rhodes, it's just kind of hard to tell if a cornerback's going to be able to get an interception. Will he get a pass defended? I think that absolutely, they will definitely throw his way. Will he intercept the ball, though? You really do not know. Then we have Hunter Henry, 7 catches. That's just a lot of catches. Glover Quinn, 7 tackles. Of course, in my opinion, with the way that the Vikings are going to be throwing the ball, I think this 7 solo tackles is definitely possible. Dak Prescott, 300 passing yards. I think that he definitely will throw for 300 passing yards, especially if the Chargers offense can get something going and we have to throw the ball to win. Jason PierrePaul, 2 sacks. I think he'll get a half a sack. I don't know if he'll get 2 sacks. And then finally, Chris Thompson, 40 rushing and receiving yards. He'll instantly get that, in my opinion. 150 rushing and receiving yards. That one is going to be a little bit tougher, but in my opinion, I think that he also will get that. So Chris Thompson, Dak Prescott, and Glover Quinn, in my opinion, the 3 best ones to do. The one that I definitely would not do is probably Jason PierrePaul or Hunter Henry. You can take a risk with Xavier Rhodes, especially since Xavier Rhodes' 93 overall card. Especially since also I just noticed you get them to become auctionable and tradable after Thanksgiving Day. So if you want to take a risk, get Xavier Rhodes, because if any of these guys get upgraded to a 93 overall, Dak Prescott and Xavier Rhodes probably going to be the 2 most expensive. But if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and comment. I'll see you guys next time, and let me know down below which cultivator sets you guys did and which ones you think are the best ones. I'll see you guys next time.